Tuesday today, we obviously it's just game week, so we'll get 2 Tuesdays, 2 Wednesdays, 2 Thursdays, a dress rehearsal on Friday. First day to exchange scouts, and got a lot of work done. Thought it was positive. All New Mexico State. We're focused on one game. We did some of that stuff in camp. We worked on our first 4 or 5 opponents throughout camp. You know what I'm saying? Strength of their team is, I think the quarterback's really good. Really, really good running back in their scheme. I mean, I think they're very, very well coached. Strength of their team's their offense. I think they put like 600 yards on Kentucky. I was very, very impressed with them. They got receivers that can stretch the field. I mean, they're very, very. I mean, they're very productive offensively and do a good job. I think that I know their DC from back when I was at West Virginia. He was at Boston College, and very, very good football coach. They're very well coached team, very capable. Their record's not indicative of the games that they were in. You know, they really are. A lot better than what their record indicated last year. Last year doesn't have anything to do with anything. The biggest thing, our focus is on them, and nothing more than figuring out a way to be 1-0. What makes a good leader is someone who has a servant's heart. A guy that comes out and serves with his attitude and his effort every day. And, I think that's something that we continue to challenge. I mean, because I think all of our quarterbacks do a good job with that, but you got to be elite. You've got to set the standard when it comes to the values of our program. And so Manny's a winner. He's a guy that's had a tough life. He's been through a lot of challenges and things like that, but he's a winner. And I'm very, very pleased with obviously we recruited him, so but I think that's one of the things at that position right now. Our top 3 guys, and one of them's not physically cleared yet, Brady. We've got great character in that group, and the thing about that group is that it's very competitive from a leadership standpoint because there's such strong leaders in that group. And I think Blake and I think Brady push that envelope, and they've helped to, it's been the kind of that way. I think Blake is really elevated Manny and vice versa. And then, obviously Brady's not been able to get in there much because of his injury. But when he has, I mean, just to how he does everything he does, they elevate each other. And so that's the most important thing is how well, what kind of leader they are. And everybody talks about leadership, but, leadership's a walk. And it's about respect. It's the other 10 guys wanting to run through a wall for you. And that's something that you gotta put money in the bank every day when it comes to that. And so, that's something I think's a strong point. And it's especially with the whole group. That group is stout now. When you look at the top to bottom, what type of young men are play quarterback here for us? I didn't get the first part of that. I brought what? Blake. Oh yeah. Yeah, there's competition at every position. I mean, I think that, how I feel about all that transfer and stuff. I mean, watching, somebody should chart that, how often it works out. And, and sometimes kids get in a bad situation. There's a good reason for them to I'm not saying that's not always a negative, but I don't know. I think it speaks to his competitive nature and his heart, and, it has been extremely competitive, and there is not a lot of. I mean, both those guys, in my opinion, are really, really good quarterbacks, and obviously Manny's the starter till Blake beats him out, and it's been a battle, and I'll tell you this, I got confidence in both of them. I mean, he's competing. I mean, obviously, and and I'll be real honest with you, they both made each other better, and they'll continue to compete. It'll be a competition every day. I think this reminds me a lot of kind of the way Taylor and Burkos was. I mean, it was really, really, really competitive, and different sets of talents by each guy. But I'm not afraid one bit to play Blake, not one bit. And he hadn't beat Manny out yet, or we'd move him there. But there's. But it's not because one of them's not doing good. I just think we got two really, really good quarterbacks, and obviously we think we've got three with Brady, which I just don't think he's going to be available physically right now. He's obviously not been cleared and got a ways to go probably there. But so I don't know. I think it speaks to the resolve that he has, and but the intangibles of that group, I mean, I really like. I really like the guys we have at that position, and I think it's been really good. So many times nowadays, people don't want to compete. They don't want to compete. They want to be, christen the guy, And you got to compete. Every position, you got to compete, and that's what makes you better, man. If you don't have competition, without competition, you can't be great, in my opinion. So I've loved watching it, but it ain't over. We're still competing, and but I feel very confident. Obviously, Brady's not healthy, but I feel very, very confident in those two guys. Right now, that's kind of, even today. I mean, there's some guys went over to scout team. Alex Perry did a lot of great things at scout team day. So it's not like the evaluation continues. It's week to week. We'll get through these 3 days, and then there could be some changes. But every day is a competition day, and I like how, especially our defensive guys, how they approached it, and how this with those young guys, it really depends a lot on just their mental maturity and whether they're ready or not. So not everybody that wasn't with the scouts, and some guys are rotating days. Like today, they won't be there. Tomorrow, they will be. Not all of them will. We'll be very careful with. We don't want to burn a guy's red shirt unless they're for sure going to play and help us win. But on the same hand, we're focused on 2017 and being committed to these seniors and being successful. So let me tell you, man, Frank. I told you the other day. I mean, Frank, even Jeremy Smith. Now, Jeremy got hurt and he's working his way back, but Frank Darby's a deep threat. I mean, he can flat run he can knock the top off of it, and he's done some really nice things. I'm really proud of him, and he's got a lot of work to do to refine his skills as a receiver, but that's one thing. We got some guys, Darby, you got, John Humphrey, that can flat take the top off of it. They can flat run. Again, got a lot of skill with, Kyle Williams has got very explosive. I think Ryan Newsom's explosive guy, very similar type skills. Obviously, Nikhil's got great ball skills and great. He reminds me a lot of the style receiver that Jalen was. I got to get our guys working every day and get better. I like that because I think there's creating some competition among those guys. But I was really proud of Darby. I thought he stuck out. I thought Langston Frederick stuck out. Didn't you guys in the scrimmage? I think he stuck out. Oh, you weren't there, Doug. Sorry, you were just looking out the window. He's here on our team. Yes. Very excited to have him here. I wish he could play this year because he is a difference maker. Obviously, as we look forward, we're looking for a difference maker pass rushers, and he's a guy that obviously got Karan graduating, and he's a guy that be very, very impactful. Very explosive, great athlete. You'll be impressed with him.